Fly like an eagle, my brothers. Fly like an eagle. Number 109 has just come to town. Now you don't have to worry if my camera is going or my camera is still. Because still we are on number 109. The reason we're on 109 and the reason for the O is because the 5 of one God and the 5 of the passage between 2 and 8 and 4 and 6 passing through the 5-hole create that 5-5 passage as a 0 and a 1 spirit connect. Following my order, they connect, and the 1 and 9 come together. The 5 and 5 come together. They get the average. But since they were passing from and to and going through, they were only used for their sole value of 5. Okay, so now what I'm getting to is 109. I don't even know where it came up. I don't even know what I was doing. Just all of a sudden, it's like everything I touch, if I want to. And sometimes I look at it and I can't even start it because I've started something already. It's insane. I don't know. God is like a bubble around us. He's totally around us, connected to some emission that is so huge. Because how big can you blow a bubble? God has blown the biggest bubble in the world, and we're living inside of it. And somehow we're protected by sheaths and underneath, and then they throw the chemtrails. Now the chemtrails, okay, as I see it now, is the government has been working with the Lord, okay, and has been working with the priest for a long, long, long time, but not directly, all indirectly. And they've learned of all these things before. So into what God can do, God already knew if God can do it and it was good, the government said we can do it, it'll be good too. So they made the chemtrails, they added in God's concoction, their concoction, they put it into the sky. And then it was what it was. You know what happened to me today? I was cutting, welding and stuff, got a piece of metal in my ear. I said, well, one good thing, if it doesn't hurt, I'm going to only get stronger in my mind. So when I go to work, I beat myself. I take my time, but I beat myself. I study it. I want to do it the best. Nobody's watching. Usually nobody's ever checking. So I can do what the hell I want. Hell, that's it. If we get to do what the hell we want, we end up in hell. From whence you came, from whence you go, to where you once began. You began in hell. You began in the earth. Ants went through your bodies before vegetables were planted, before pig manure and cow manure was dumped all over you. Inside the cow manure and shit and whatever grew from the ground, and the cows ate that from that shit inside their body where it recycled again. And then there was that night your mother had a glass of milk and your father had a beer. And guess what? When they went to get to bed together, he was shooting off a storm. But wait a second, God says if you're going to have an orgasm, you're going to go blind. Well, of course, you're in heaven when you have this shit. Don't you know how close to heaven? You got to shoot as far as you can. You got to get through Venus. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always thinking maybe the colored people, I think they're from Saturn, because that's a hell of a big planet. But then again, when I think of the colored people, I think of them again. And people don't like this when I say this. They are more of the Spirit of God than anything else. Okay? One of the reasons for the penicillin in the horses and the bigger schloings on the colored, well, more, not really colored, but darker than me. They call them blacks, but I don't like to say that. And I don't like to say any of the other words, you know. And they're not as dark as this. You know what I'm saying? But what it is they have to extend the leash on the corners where God does all his work. Okay? And since it can hang down more than anything else, okay, because black beta is black beta, when she needs the Q inside her O to look like a Q, and she's the omega. She has the egg. She's the omega. She needs your Q dick inside of her, make her look like a Q. Well, that dick representation is actually a backward 7s from your nuts, okay, all the way down, in which takes that 7 into the corner of the Q, which connects to number 9. So they're part of more of the spirit world of God and the building of this world, the beta world, than the guy with less color skin than me. And what am I used for? From what I hear it, I'm supposed to be a bloke and a square head. So if I'm a squarehead, I must still be in the school of God, right? So I'm in God's school. I'm still learning. I haven't learned what the others learned. Now, I got burnt on a cassette called I Agree about 3.5 months ago. I watched it 10 times, and everybody curses me for the black and this. I'm going to tell you one thing. If I had to talk about every single color skin, we would stay here for over 20 minutes. Does anybody ever watch my videos over 20 minutes? So I cut it short. What does skin color have to do with anything? I look good, eh? I trimmed my mustache. I can see my teeth now. Oh, I'm clean. I took a bath. I got rid of all the old information in the bath. I washed off. I said, goodbye, information. I got you written down in notes. Not that I might throw them out, but that's okay. At least I don't break anything like that other guy was watching, that 400-pound guy. Where the hell he get 1,300 likes, 400 views? Where do you get that? 307 views, excuse me. Sometimes I like to raise my voice. But you know what? I cut one of these off today. I fixed one of these. And the minute it fell to the ground, I almost cried because on it was the letter P, the one spirit of 6. Okay? Since it's the one spirit of 6, it was a 3-incher creation. That's exactly what it has to be. Okay? But they do have this on, it's actually P1 that's on it, or P. Well, it's not on it. Now I just see the P, but the P letter is the 16th letter, right? So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man's home is right here. You home, honey? There's the home. The top here, 2, is beta. And this here over here is Neptune. And these are the 4 other corners we work. See the shape of the thing there? See that? And if you take a look, the markings on the inside, okay, show, can you see it? It shows 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock on the lines. Can you see the lines? It shows 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It makes the pentagram, okay. Not only does it make the it makes the Pontiac sign with the star in it, okay. The Mercedes sign, the triangle, the Magen David. It reverts. So all you have to do is invert one on the other one. Okay, you create a V, an X, and a Y, because if I put 2 points on top of each other, an X will be created. But do you notice the angles of this? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 666. Then on the other side, it's 60 degrees, 60 degrees, and 60 degrees. 666. Now we got the problem. Now we got the problem. We got 360 degrees. But did you see what I did? I did it on this side, and I did it on this side. There's a space in between the two. That's how we create the octagon world, by that space. So each corner has to move back 1. Now it's creating more space. How much space can we have? I ain't got anything. I can take my space with me. So anyways, so you got 180 degrees, 180 degrees, but the question is, why are there 365.25 degrees? And I'm going to explain to you why. Because inside the emptiness, which is here and here, which is the Christ, okay, is a passage from 4 to 6. Passing through 5. The 2 passage through 5 to 8, passing through 5. Pass through 5 once, it passed through 5 twice. Okay, 5 by 5 is 1.25. Okay, how did we get 1.25? By 5. Okay, let me try to explain it if I could. I have the radio going here, so it's sort of bothering me, and I want to give you that result. What was the actual thing I was on? I'm going to be lost for a second here. I needed 55. I need 258. I need 4, 5, 6. I need 7, 3, and 7. 1 and 9. 6 and 5. Now, what number was I looking for? Sorry to be like this. I completely forgot. Oh, I feel terrible. Oh, I feel terrible. And it was good. What I was telling you was 1 and 5. Oh, right. Yes, 365 days. Yes. So we got 360, 180 degrees here, 180 degrees there. Now, what I'm trying to talk about is not only that, This round I'm talking about, circle, is also in the Da Vinci Code in the back over the window. Not only that, what this represents is the omega, and whatever represented as man is will be represented in the earth, because man comes from the earth. Man's only a byproduct of what comes out and God puts the mind into. This is the rainbow covered cord of the 7 or 8 or 9 colors around the center of the earth. That's what it is. That rainbow you see, okay, design it around, put a thing inside of it, a flat bar, you've got a round circle, you can turn it into a triangle if you want, put in your colors of the rainbows, okay, and you're going to see it's actually covering the gold, which is actually the core of the earth. And we are directly from the vibrant emissions that come from down and under. We don't sense it because it comes out, okay, through the water, through the oceans, comes down in rain, it comes up from the ground, and what we don't see through the wind, the sun that hits it, and it comes out into the air that we breathe through the trees, and we must have these trees to process it. If we do not have these trees, everything dies. Life is in the roots and the bark of the dog of the trees that root themselves to the ground and stand for hundreds of years, who dorm in the winter, who sleep to come up to bring syrup for everybody in the springtime, and then bloom. Our trees. The water, my friends. It goes up in rain and down, and you're breathing it in. That earth is constantly in you from all over the world. That's why God turns the world around. So we're looking for 5.25 days. Okay? And the reason for 5.25 days, I'm going to do it in 2 portions. In fact, Jackson's entire political platform essentially revolved. Everything is evolved around 5. 5. Okay? Just like in pi, we put number 3 over here in pi, and 4 of them. There's 4 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. This corner 3 times this. This corner is 3 less than this and 3 more than this. This one from 8 to 2 is 6. The 6, 6 is the 6, 6. Okay, so now what we have over here is the 5. And like I told you, the crossroad here goes through the 5 one time. We're not counting that because we already counted it. And this way. We went through it this way once and this way once. 5 times 5 is 25 of the 5 spot passing through here. That's what it represents. 360 plus 525 days is all about the separation of this dot over here. It's what this dot causes. This, my friends, is what pi is all about, because that's all it is. That dot goes right in the center, and then this grows again, and that becomes man. The dot of the eye, the dot at the end of the sentence, the dot before you were born, the sperm, the elements within us. I'm shaking, I am vibrant, I see, I can see, I see right through things right now. My vision is highly intellectual within what I understand from wherever this comes. I am so excited with this duality in my life given to me, a gift from God. How can you feel the way I feel without this gift of God? Not only has He settled my heart to know there are strong people out there, and even one of them, okay, who stands for 2 parts of my life, because I see someone who has a vision on me. And that's you, Will. Okay? Ron Paul is who he sees, and he just looks back in the back just before he goes to bed or before he wakes up, or when his girlfriend bothers him when he's not in his car. He takes a peek at what MrTacpans has to say. MrTacpans is going to put it all together. However this creation came about. It's fixed. It's done. I got it done. I got it done right up to now. And I think I've achieved a lot, and I'm very excited for myself. I'm giving myself, you know what? I bought myself a gift today. I bought 2 things of fruit juice. And I never can do that on Monday and Tuesday because I'm usually broke. But that's okay. I don't think I'm going to be broke till Wednesday this week. But you see, I'm a lucky guy, because I'm usually never broke more than a month. And in fact, that never happens, because the minute it becomes the first of the month, I'm not broke anymore. If I had the ability to get myself a sane job where I can go and get paid, I obviously would want to go do it. But for some reason, the interior of my knowledge, let's call it the intellect that I never knew I had, that I may not have in face of other people who may listen to me, that when I get to a job, I've got to take out my book and start taking notes, because anything that falls down, I start, oh my God, that's the way it was cut. Oh, that's why it's cut this way. Oh my God. Oh, it's welded that way. Oh, you can weld it this way. What if it melts? Anyways, let's jump off into something else. These corners of the dice, okay, I'm trying to think, because it's the wolf inside this world, right? The corners, okay, here, all here would be concave. Everything would be concave in. That creates the wolf. 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds. How many diamonds you got? You want to make a design? You got a club? You want to get a club? Get a club sandwich. 3-decker. Good for creation. Lucky there's a pant in the center. They call it bread. So man must be bread. Representation of bread. Okay, I came up with that one. If we're in the middle of the sandwich, we're the bread. We ain't anything good. We ain't any of the vegetables. We're the fucking bread. There's bread. The third piece of bread, that's in the middle. Man's bread. Let me do this count. B-R-E-A-D. We got a bead. We can learn how to read. We can do a good deed. Someone has to feed us. It could be a good breed. Yeah, breed. But it's not breed. B-R-E-A-D is a bread. But when you're a horse, what kind of breed do you have? They don't say who bred you. Who are you bred from? Well, I don't know. If I'm bred, then I'm doe. And doe is a deer. Wait a second. A male doe is a buck. If you got a buck and a little doe, you got some cash, you got money. But wait a second. We have to have some rain to make anything work. You got to have a reindeer. Deer, my doe, you want to make a reindeer? So you make a rain dance. So they dance in bed and one jumps on top of the other. You ever see 2 reindeers at it? They're like dancing around, holding each other from behind and hopping around and hopping around. They got the rain dance and then they get the reindeer. And that's why the Indians wore the antlers, because they understood where the head was coming from. Every piece that you've ever seen, touched, looked at is all inside of the creation, even if it's a cushion. The way you punch the cushion in. In this world, there's a little air to just push it back out. Depends what kind of cushion you buy. Some cushions are made to break. Some are not. Do you want to hear something funny? Let me go for a second. I'm going to come back in a second. I'm going to get a drink, and I want to bring you a friend of mine that I sleep with every single night, and he represents exactly how I think, and at the same time, I'm going to have a little bit of juice on the way.
Which was to create an independent and inherently debt-free currency. It was called the greenback. Shortly after this,
here I come.
An internal document circulated between
here I come.
British and American banking interests stated,
okay, here I am. I got part of the Oasis, okay, but we were still working on bread, okay. This is my buddy. I sleep with him all the time. Okay, I found them on the edge of the doorway not the other day, about 6 months ago. And this is who I am, MrTacpans. This is where the name comes from. Okay, it comes from this and a turtle and a tortoise. I put the 3 of them together to get MrTacpans. And why I added in the Mr. is because I'm the angel in between the M and R, which is the love of the angel resident, which can stand for man at the same time. So I am in between all these things. So tack, backwards, is cat. And pans was a pan and an old lake where all the turtles hung out. And we had a lot of pans. But backwards, the turtles, they were snapping. So we got tack pans. Mister is just because I'm the angel. How do you think they came up with the word Mr. and Mrs.? Because Mrs. is the spirit of the family. She's the 1-9. She's got the S. The one spirit of God. Okay, that 1 egg, the omega. And the 9 birth. 19. 1 and 9. 10. She's got life. A child.
Are you really working for?
One child. But when the child comes out, he's 0. What's the first thing they say? He was just born. So does that mean he's on the pedestal right now? Like in Go in Monopoly? He was just born. He's still in between your legs. Spread him a little more. A little more. Okay, stop. You just had a child. Ma! Oh, you had a baby! Nothing to do with age yet. Yeah, Ma, I just had a baby. Oh, I heard your child was just born. Oh, he's now a day old. So now he's got the spirit inside of him. He needs 1 day or 2 days to adjust. In all actuality, in the Hebrew religion, before they cut the sleeve off the Dick and Harry, it's a number of days. So whatever the number of days or whatever number you come up with or tell me the truth of the number, I'll tell you the reason for it. I like to say, like my mother, and I always used to love when she says, you got a reason, an answer for everything. Fuck, this is shit. She's telling me I'm smart? Or am I smart enough to understand there's a chance I must have said something wrong? Should I say something different? This is where you got to dance around the family and just throw it out the door. Go, oh, yeah, okay. You know. Anyways, okay. For sure. Let's go back. 109. One of the reasons for 109 is because 10 came home. 10 came home. Nobody gets it yet? Okay. If you turn this around, okay, how can I do this? Because there's so many ways to do this. 10 came home. 6 went out, or 4 went out. 10 came home. 4 went out. 10 came home. Who came home? The middle? 6. Right? But what actually is the middle between 4 and 10? Because really and truthfully, it's 5 went out and 10 came home, you can say also. Because are we counting the spirit passage? No, you have to eliminate that spirit. But it doesn't matter, because the minute you eliminate that spirit, God automatically goes into the either one hole, because he's the God, or he's in the center 5 position. So all you're ending up with is 6 man, right? What did I just say? 5? What did I say? 6? 6, 5, 5, 6? We got the wolf. Not only did we got the wolf, let me do a calculation here. S19 even. Spirit is even. Even Stephen. Saint Even Stephen. We got a spirit. ST first, last, and the best of all. He had to stop to start. He had it to stay. He stayed to go. Okay. The public is still out there? Hello? Shit. Everybody left again. I'm alone. I'm having these delusions. Like every time I come back to do a video, it's like because everybody's standing in the audience. Oh, let's see what MrTacpans has to say today. MrTacpans. Where did he come from? I am Mark from Ark. Shabbat. Nano. So anyways, one of the reasons 4 goes out, the angle goes out, picks up a spirit, becomes 5. Man who is 6 gets a spirit himself. He has to get a spirit. His only reason his number is 6 is because that's his coordinates. And his spirit has to go this way. And the other spirit has to go this way. So imagine you got an X with a line this way. Now what the f is that supposed to mean? So I have to work on that too. So maybe I'll forget. And next time I'll work on it when I remember. When I remember, I do things. I do things that I remember. And what I forget. Hopefully the 10% of my mind that I'm not using, or the 1% of my mind that I'm not using. Am I using any of my mind right now? Where is this all coming from? Hold on. Zzz. Hello? Hello, yes? Where are you coming from? We're in the belly of a whale. We're in the belly of a whale? I'm telling you, man. We're inside another planet, okay? We may live on the surface, okay? But we ain't the surface. We ain't the roof, that's for sure. Go look outside today. It's impossible that night and this day can do what that does. I can't see shit. Okay? I wear my goggles, my mask, and whatever else I can put on, and I don't believe all this stuff anymore. You know that? And I can't say it's all wrong, but let's say it's a part of pi. It's a circle that's not a perfect circle, sort of, but it is, and the calculation can never work out because, and you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons the circle never works out in pi is because if you need a core, whether it's a marble or a line, always use a dot. Always use a dot, and with this dot, you put it on a pin, and you let it spin. Depending on what the size of the dot is, will be the amount of space gained and lost within its own turn. Because we are used to having things so perfect and exact, we think something doesn't work out because it doesn't calculate under the methods that we use to calculate them. We have to expand, like I've showed you before. 2 becomes 4, and 4 becomes 8, and 8 becomes 16. 6 becomes 12, and 2 becomes 4. But if you keep them all separated, you got 2, 2, 6, 6. Do I have that over here? Let me see. Did I write that down over here? I had to do it somewhere. You hold on a second. I'll find it. If I don't find it, oh, I had it all done. It was beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna do it here. Just give me a second, okay? Okay, I'm just gonna show you a Y to it. I'm not gonna draw it all out. I'm just gonna show you a Y. Okay. One of the reasons why is because 1 cuts into 2. Okay? Whether it's from above or below, I'm just marking it from below. 3, which is the creation, okay, of 1 and 2 together, make 3, which is 1 center of the dice, and 2, and 3. Now, they're all just one looking dice, right? That corner sticks up like this. That's a pyramid corner, 3, 2, and 1. So if you want to see different kinds of pyramids, you have to follow this rule that I'm showing you now. Plus, are they 3-sided, 6-sided, 8-sided? I mean points. Are they 8 points? Not only are they 8 points, but the corners here, when you cut these off, there's 3 different sides to it. If you turn it around and stick it in, it gets right to the core of the dice. You understand? Cut this dice piece off, turn it around, and stick it in. And it'll touch the core of this dice. Because this dice is not the exact shape it's supposed to be, this is the shape of basically our world, like this, inside this world. This world inside this world. I mean like this, because God's like that. Those are God's angles. Okay, but he's square. This is the beta, and those are her angles. Anyways, why did I say that? You know what I said? Like this is the 6, and this is the 6. This dice here, if this world would just end, this must get sliced, because the 3 and 3 world no longer exists.
To be treated fairly. I need for the United States to repay the debt you owe my people for all the destruction you've done here. I need
V, V, upside down B's, whichever way you want to go. Man in the middle, 3, 6, 7. 4 and 6 are on each side, but you don't need the 4 and 6 on each side, because 4 and 6 is 10, and the representation of the 10 is dead center, right here. And that's where you die. We're basically in heaven. We're in God's hole, you know. When we die, I don't think there's no steps up to heaven. Really and truthfully, the body, I mean, almost at an instant when you die, if you're not lying down, you drop down right away. I'm trying to get this straight. Let me figure this out. Hold on a second. Am I a grapefruit? No. Grapefruit's got a good roll, eh?
In June of that same year,
I think they say they bury us 6 feet down, 2 feet up.
which there's no question was executed by CIA-sponsored jackals. Tremendous amount of evidence.
The first thing that happens in our life is 2 and 6.
Handed him at the last moment of his
Okay?
playing the tape
The last thing that happens in our life is 6 and 2. They bury us 6 feet down with our 2 feet pointing up. They bring us into the world with our head coming out first, and the rest of us last. 6 is your feet, because that's the soul of man. When you put on your shoe, they call it a soul. So that's why 6 is over here. That's the soul. The 6 is your feet. Head first.
In 1998, Bush Chavez gets elected president.
You come into the world head first, face up.
Very corrupt and basically destroy the economy of the country.
So you come into the world head first, face up.
Chavez
You go out of this world, line straight down, face up, feet up. Except they're a little straighter now, because you're a little older. Get a little stiff with age from that rust, eh? Good old rusty bones, eh? Let's fix ourselves up with some rusty bones. A lot of energy, a lot of energy. I'm not sure where to start next. I know everything's falling on the ground because my tiger is stuck to my keyboard. I'm not sure when I look at a V if it's a continuation or that's the end of it. So when it tells me to go this way, when the elevator points like this, I go, okay, I'm the man in the middle. I get the decision. Everything it does like this, you're in the middle, okay? When you start all these signs, start studying your typewriter and your keyboard, and somebody drops something. If it stinks in the house, try and figure out what they ate and see if they're more intelligent tomorrow. Science is great. I don't know where my mouse is. How should I shut this down?
They overcame it,
I am Raphael.
which was a phenomenal moment.
I am the beholder of the energy of MrTacpans. What is it, the Year of the Wolf? Isn't there a song, The Year of the Wolf? There are usually 3 wolves that howl. Yet, on my moon in my house over here that I have, there's only one. So is there one? And then I watched a movie, something about New York, I think, and there were like 5 wolves. So how many wolves are there supposed to be in a pack? What's a pack? So I'm starting to think, how many wolves will be in a pack? Well, since this is the beta world, so God takes 2, and the center in this world is 5, okay, and 2, 5, 7. A pack is a deck of cards. How many are there? 52. It's a pack. It's a wolf pack. Wait a second. Aren't there 56? Oh yes, with the instruction cards. Okay. And I just marked something down that where did I mark this? Oh no, I keep losing things. Oh, this is so bad. I didn't finish the bread deal yet. Let me see. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Let me light up a cigarette. Take your time. I get so nervous when I do this because I can't stop these things. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Sorry, hell. I don't want to give you shit, for anything, but you're part of me. You know what I mean? You're part of me. How I act is my business, right? I mean, you only come out of the ground, or if you get mad at me, you're going to send me a bad vegetable or something. From Monsanto's, eh? I knew you were dealing with the evil devil. Crazy. So let me see if I can show you the 109 that I originally marked down. I have the 109 here. Oh, and that was with the cards. Okay, that came with the cards. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. That's what it was. There's 56 cards in a deck. Okay. We play with only, as far as I know, I'm not sure right now, but because of 4 Angel and 6 Man, we're only playing with 2 decks. Okay. 52 cards, total 104. 104 is 10-4, which is the 410 joke that I made before of 6 Man being in between, which is us. Okay. And, boy, I may tell all kinds of stories and then I screw up myself. So there's 52 cards, 104, right? Okay. That's also the number in Casino War. for the count. The ace has no value, but 14 in that game. So instead of being 91, it's 90 plus 14 is 104. And that's what they call this life, war. Okay, now, that was 104. The game we live here, okay, is the game of love. Because we had war, now we have to be in the game of love. Now they call this game how Monopoly works. Okay, let me show you. Let me see where it is. How Monopoly works. Oh yeah, here. Okay, 40 spaces in Monopoly, plus you got to take the train from Reading Railroad to free parking, because that's the only other way to go without going from one of the corners, because one of the corners are all placed to go. But for go to jail, straight to jail, it means there's no stop and go. There's right to jail. It means you can't stop. It means there's a passage, a bypass. Because it says go straight to jail, no pass, go nothing. It says it's a bypass that goes around or something, because that's the 30th space. Going over to the 10th space, now creating a total of 40. Monopoly's got 40, plus to go to free parking is 5, and then back is 5, and that's 50. The 50 golden years, okay? It's also 5-0, or Hawaii 5-0, if you want to say it, which means H and I, beta creation, I-O, omega birth. 15 and 9, 24, makes 6 and 8 heaven, and 5 pass is the N letter. N and Z is the same letter created over each other, create an hourglass, and at the same time a slice, divided in 2. Okay, so 104. Now life is 50. So life plus love equal 104, and love and war in itself equals 104. So that's how they get the word. There's love in the word of war. Okay, in the game of war, there's love. It automatically comes out. It's crazy. And anyways, the 5, right? Because first you have the 10, and then you're the 11. Okay, you're 11, and the 4 angel is 9. 4 and 5, 9. 6 and 5, 11. Because the center, they both get the center. Angel is 4 and 5 the center, 9. You're 5 and 6 the center, you're 11. And if you want to look at it this way, when you're 11, you're 2. The angel makes 9, and you automatically make 2. How come? 11 is 1 and 1 equals 2. Now, you equal that. 9, 2. Beta heaven, beta birth, you're born. Now you're in the 6th position. 9 to 2 is odds in horse racing. And I can check that out and probably figure out why it's like that, and why the horse is those odds with those numbers. I never thought of that before. But that's Highcock and Garnish. Okay, so now I had the Monopoly game, which I explained to you that there's 40, and everybody can say, well, yeah, 5 to the center, 5 not. Well, let me tell you one thing. I tore apart that whole board. Yeah, I can build all kinds of things on it. I'm always starting at scratch because I just write it down. I can't write it and redo it on the same page and relook, and that's my downfall to this whole thing. But I have to overlook that and just keep putting out these words and the words of knowledge. What knowledge? So anyways, let's get back to the number of cards. There's 56. I'm going to have to do it on a clean piece of paper. There's 56. There's 55. There's 54. There's 52. Minus 1. In the game of war, I take away 1 card. Okay? It's 104 instead of 105. In the game of war, it's 104. In the game of bluff, it's 105. There's 1 missing. The ace is missing. The ace is missing. The ace is missing. The reason the ace is missing is because that's God. He ain't in the game. He's only in the game through spirit. Because in this game, you count both aces. He's in this game, but he's not in this game. Because this is Delta. He is the number 4 of 10, equaling to man 6. That's why it comes out to these numbers. Okay? Now we're going to show you about these cards, okay?
Because Texaco, which is now owned by Chevron, so they have to get Chevron.
5,
It is conducted by Texaco.
4, 54 cards.
Estimated to be more than 18 times.
Okay, 2 jokers are included here.
To the coast of Alaska.
The 55th card, well, actually, there's more to this than that, because the 55th card, okay, is the pack. Open the 2 ends of the pack, right? If you turn it this way, you put your cards in this way. Here, I'll show you. You have the pack this way, right? Open, the doors open this way, and I put the card in, okay? I can put the card in. But if it's this way, I can't put the card in. It goes this way. I can't get it in the box. It goes in the box and out of the box the same way. The only time it can turn is in between the boxes. So you need a box going on every angle. But not only the boxes, but how you connected the boxes, okay, to 2, 4, 6, and 8. While at the same time, what was 1, 3, 7, and 9 were doing? They were the arms that were holding all these boxes. In between 2, 4, 6, and 8 were the arms holding the boxes of 2, 4, 6, and 8. And those were all the energy strands of God. And at the end was the big yoke, a big capped it with the half moons, half moon, quarter moon. What kind of moon you have? Do you know why? The reason for the moon? It's because number 56 is all about the moon. It's howling at the moon. I showed you well, that's all, folks. Yeah. I showed you the wolf. I showed you the wolf. I mean, I just did it real quick. I just make them up real quick. Over. That's my terrible wolf today. Anyways, so we have 56 cards. Let me get back. Where's that paper again? Which side? Okay, 56 cards. We need all the cards with all the instructions and everything. We get the 56 cards. We get the 55 because 5 out of our mother and 5 back into the ground. 5 and 5 is 10. Remember the joke at the beginning? Left is 4, came back as 10, or left is 6, came back as 10. It's the same joke, 5 and 5. This is the one spirit. This is the pack. You came out of your mother. Then you went up a here. You know, I'm always telling you 30 days out, September, April, June, and November, and August is an 8th, and the September is a 9th. How come? It's because of this, 9/11. Because of that. Because you're not 11. You're a 9 and you're not a 10 yet because you're not born. You're a 0. You're still inside that sack. The sack of 0. So anyways, what happens? You come out here. The minute you come out here, boom. You get to be 11. You run right away from here because you're already born. You're born that day. How old are you? I'm 1 day old. There you go. 1 day old equals 11. The letter K. Now, if you take the letter K, it's your mind, it's the chicken foot, it's the peace sign, it's anything you want to do. And if you continue this, you get the X, you get the O, you get the pentagram, the pentagon, then you get every other stupid thing that comes out of it. I mean, I just designed really something quick. You know what I'm saying? Which way do you want to do it, backwards or forwards? So now you know 56 cards, 55 cards, 54 cards, 2 jokers. Now here's the fun. This is where the reality of 50, hold on a second, let me shut off whatever's going here because I really want to tell it to you good. Oh, fantastic. Okay, here it is. What happens here? Well, since this is the result after, and here you are in, everybody knows 5 is in the center all the way up. 2 is this world. 4 is the angle. So what in the world happens now? What happens? There's 2 jokers in the deck. 52 plus 2. 1 joker goes all the way up to here. And from 55 at birth, man is now 56. Because he gets the joker, the red joker, because he has the blood. And what happens to the other joker? He goes over here. He's the black joker. Well, how come he doesn't get a point? Because beta's already black. You don't get anything extra. So he goes from here, and he's -1 now. So he becomes 54 cards. So man is 50. Man, it becomes this, and the angel becomes 45 and 54. 45 represents the fox, and 54 is the word of love. I think I've said enough right now. My vitality is high, but I feel like going lower. I need a little juice, cigarette to smoke, maybe a joint or something. A beautiful woman to come over and just do some work with me. Oh my God, where does my orgasm come from? In the Word of God. That's exactly what it says. The starlight of the heavens in the night of the day. Most others infrequently come, as they always seem to never stay. But the world is like this. For a long time, as much as I love women, oh my God. Look at this one, look at that one. They're all over, so I just say, you know what? I just stop looking, and if I find one, it's got to be like this, and like this. You know, I went like this, and like this. In between is the sponge. So we can, you know, like sponge. Like when you don't hurt yourself and you wear gloves, it's like a sponge. So we're sort of like that in this world. Maybe that's part of, you know, pi is about us a little bit, right? Anybody have a question about pi out there? The mathematical thing, I know absolutely nothing about it except for its numbers. And if you want to ask me a question or something, or to answer a question of some sort, not with just words, but other than words, otherwise I'm going to just answer the question about the words. Oh my God. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, he just reminds me all the time. Oh my God. Oh, he reminded me again. Holy shit, no! Shit ain't holy. Of course it is. Where do you think you got your vegetables from? What do you think I'm hyper for today? 2 caffeines and a bag of cat shit. That's why I have this stuffed tiger. He don't poop at all. I talk to him sometimes. Sometimes I think God's going to make him to be alive. But if you can talk to something and it talks back to you, it's okay. See, when you talk to a pet or an animal or a stuffed animal, you're only reflecting within yourself. But you're getting a basis by having a guidance towards something. Knowing that the animal comes from the animal kingdom, the circle of life, you would know about pi a whole lot more than us. Raphael, 7286. You think it's over right now? In the constellation of Pegasus. I thank you on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Tacpans.